Imaginator. Alright, let's check this out. This is actually, like I mentioned a moment ago, the reason I used this for Fallout 3 was because I couldn't get an E and B to work for Fallout 3, but I wanted to have something that changed the lighting and saturation and color like an E and B would, except without the frame rate hit. And that's how I came across this thing called the Imaginator. They said it would be in apparel. Why is it not showing up? Ah, here we go. Oh my goodness. This is going to be so good. Let's see. Hollywood styles. Oh, if I could only remember what I had before. Rich color with blue shadows. Sticky sweet greens, western post-apocalypse, rich brown desert life, old western sepia, Mojave burning, ultra cool blue, purple mountains majesty. So you can basically get an E and B effect without the frame rate hit using this Imaginator. Yeah, let me go outside, and of course it should have an effect inside too, but I'm still going to have to adjust. I'm still going to have to adjust saturation and all that kind of thing. I use alcohol. It's been 3 years since I've had it, so it's dirty. Okay. Alright. It is 12:40. Okay, now let's deal with light and saturation. Let's see. Big lights, or actually, you know what? The emitter features 8 high-quality light output variations. Okay, so this is for light sources. This is not for the overall light of the outside environment. Okay. Contraster brings you incremental decreases or increases in contrast, brightness, and saturation. So let's do brightness. 0 plus 8. Is that too bright for you guys? Oops, it's still increasing. I shouldn't have kept the button down. You know what? I think I had a level of 21 for my Fallout 3. Oh, I don't want it this bright. Or does this look good for you guys? Is this... well, this is too bright for the sky, but maybe I can fix it with contrast or something. Needs a bit more saturation. Alright, let's... do you mean contrast or saturation? Okay, decrease is 0.5, alright. Saturation is 9 and 6. Looks good there. Let me go ahead and do saturation. You know what, let me go to 15. Oops. Stop, please. Alright, 25. Wow, that's... How is that? Is that overly saturated for you guys? It actually doesn't look that bad on my monitor. Although, you know what, I could probably bring it down a little bit. Let me bring it down to 20. At 7 it was too much? Oh wow. Alright, let me bring it back down then. But this is what's really great about this Imaginator, is the kind of control it gives you over stuff like this. Contrast, brightness, saturation, and some of the visual styles too. What about 5? Okay, so you're saying saturation should be at 15 and brightness should be at 7? Or which one should be at 7 and which one should be at 15? And really the huge plus with this thing is not just the visual, but it's also the fact that you don't lose any frame rate like you do with an ENB. Okay, so saturation at 15 and the brightness is fine. Okay. So, okay. We'll do saturation. Okay. Let's see. Then contrast. Contrast is 7 and 4. Alright. Let me, how about that for contrast? You know what, let me try going to increase of 10. Brightness looks good, no problem. Yeah, I mean, again, I have to say this again just because it was so helpful for me in Fallout 3. If you want to adjust your visual look of your game, but you don't want the frame rate hit of an ENB, pick up the Imaginator. And the other great thing about it is, it isn't just brightness, contrast, and saturation. You have two different settings called preset Hollywood styles. So you have all these different types of, like if you wanted to do an old western style, it gives it kind of an old western sepia look. Now, of course, you'd have to adjust the brightness, contrast, and saturation accordingly. But you've got all these different Hollywood styles, is what they call them. Western post-apocalypse. Okay, that's way too green. But there again, I'd have to adjust saturation and all that. And then, of course, you have these things called, actually, what was the style I had? It was the first one, wasn't it? Rich color and blue shadows, yeah. Yeah, that's what I had. Alright. And then you've got Cinematech film enhancements. Star Trek Vaseline camera. Wow. Anyways, I won't go through all of them, but just to give you guys an idea of so many options and changes that you could use to really just make your game look so unique without the ENB frame rate hit. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Oh, and then of course you have depth of field adjustments you can do. You can do shutter speed and soft focus. Just all kinds of different changes you can do with this one mod. It's really pretty amazing. Yeah, you can get a very cinematic look with all the fine adjustments. But yeah, I think this really helps the color. So this is sweet. Looks good where you asked, but it looks even better. So yeah, again, this one is the this is the first preset Hollywood style, and it's called Rich Color with Blue Shadows. Alright, so now I need to go talk to Loyal. Okay.
I don't know how you survived the bombardment. That's incredible. What is it, outsider?
You know what? I think
Goodbye.
I might have my HDR on. Let me go turn that off. I thought I turned it off before, but I'm not sure what I did.